talk in a rather unusual way. I'm going to start with a couple of things that I'm not going to be talking about. That's because I think they're so important that I wanted to touch on them anyway, even though I won't have time to go into them in depth. Children do not need basic literacy skills to be ready for school. Children need basic language skills, oral language, to be ready for school. Children need early education. At the ages of 3 to 5, they need active hands-on learning play. They do not need early academic instruction to be ready for school. Now that's important. You're going to make me go over time. Now that's important because little kids are not built to be sitting still for any length of time listening to verbal instruction, especially little boys. And if we try to insist that they do that, they'll come to dread school and form long-lasting impressions of themselves as stupid and unable to learn. The other thing I wanted to mention is that in a recent analysis of student outcomes worldwide, the two countries that came out on top are Finland and South Korea. And that's consistent with what other research has found. Now, what do Finland and South Korea have in common? Not much. But in both countries, the standards for getting into teacher training at university are extremely high. The respect for teachers is enormous, and teachers are paid extremely well. So think about it. To get the best student outcomes, we need to attract the best and the brightest to go into teaching, and we need to respect them and compensate them accordingly. Okay, now on to my talk for today. What abilities and skills will be needed for success in the 21st century? Well, one of them is self-control, having the self-control to resist temptations and not act impulsively, to think before we speak or act so we don't do something we'd regret or put our foot in our mouths, to wait before making up our minds so we don't jump to a conclusion or prejudge. Another is discipline and perseverance, having the discipline to stay on task and complete it, to resist temptations to quit because you're bored, you're frustrated. There are a lot more fun things to do. Continuing to work even though the reward might be a long time in coming. Also, creativity in seeing connections between seemingly unconnected ideas or facts, playing with information and ideas in your mind, relating one to another, then disassembling those combinations and putting the elements together in new ways. Working memory involves holding information in mind and working with it. It's critical for things like reasoning. And creativity in seeing familiar things in new ways from different perspectives. If one way of solving a problem isn't working, can we conceive of the problem in a different way? Can we think outside the box to attack the problem in a different way? And finally, flexibility. Having the flexibility to take advantage of serendipity, to navigate around unforeseen obstacles, and to admit we were wrong when we get more information. Executive functions is shorthand for all of the abilities I just mentioned. And executive functions happen to be my specialty.